All right, what's up, YouTuber subscribers? Today we're gonna be talking about loft hygiene and health, and just gonna talk about a little bit of what I do to keep the birds healthy. Also gonna be showing you guys the update on the young birds in the sun cage. As you guys can see, it's already about it's been about 5 to 7 days since they've had their sun cage, and they're pretty comfortable. It is still fairly early, but I've came out here midday and you see most of the kid up here hanging around. And as you guys can see right there, they can see their surrounding. And then they get to get used to like the little wild birds. So gives them a good head start to start jumping out. And then I've already started having them jump onto the tray because they understand their feed tray. All right, guys, so here real quick, here's some of the stuff that I use to help my birds stay healthy. I do only medicate my birds once a year, and that's early in the season, right before it gets too hot, and then right after the cold. I don't like them stressing out, and when you do give them any of this stuff, it's like obviously any medication is gonna make you feel drowsy and stuff like that. So I don't like to do it during cold temperature just because it kind of stresses them out a little bit more. So I wait till the weather's good, and we start doing a little bit of the things that I like to do. All right, so first things first, every guy at every loft should have a gallon of Clorox bleach or any kind of bleach. As you guys can see, it kills 99.9% of germs, and I use that to keep my feed tray clean and then their water container clean, because that's where they're gonna if they're gonna consume any type of bacteria, that's where it's gonna come from first. So I try to keep this around. I clean everything daily, and I suggest everybody does the same thing, just to keep everything clean, and helps the birds also stay healthy. So then what I like to use is a bug spray. I got it at a feed store, and what I like to do is I like to spray my birds' feathers, under their feathers, under their tail, and like on their back, right before the season starts, because I want everything to be nice and clean. And then if I ever do see lice and ticks or anything like that on the birds, as you guys see sometimes if you don't keep them clean. So I like to keep that around. There is some other powder stuff that you use in the water, and once they bathe, it helps with that. So that's just like one of the quick things to have around. Then I use this for bacteria. So I used to use something called Solmint, and this is a replacement for Solmint. So as you guys can see right here, this is just to kill diseases off. So I like to use this once a year, or anytime a bird comes into the loft. The bird has to have this before he comes around, or she comes around any of my other birds. Just helps keep everything nice and healthy. Then I also like to keep these little guys around. These Tony's Treasures really work. What I've seen they really work on is when a bird loses appetite. So like when they start getting sick, or you notice a kit bird's feeling down due to whatever reason. A few of these once a day could really help your bird. Those little guys actually work for that purpose. Then I do use this wormer. This is also a different kind of wormer. This is not the brand that I'm used to using. This is my first time trying this one, ivermectin. So the other brand I used was Ivamec, and it worked really good. But the guy at Jed said this is a replica of it, and it should work good. That's dewormer. I use it once a year. Real simple. just a tablespoon per gallon of this for 1 day, and it should do its job. It does have an instruction sheet here, so you'll be able to understand how to use that. Then you can't go wrong with having 4-in-1. Anytime you see a bird get sick or down, or even starting off the year, using 4-in-1 is a good starter thing. It's like the easy go-to medication if anything is wrong with your bird. Then I like to use garlic juice in the water for a lot of different reasons. This stuff helps the birds come out of stress, helps with their feathering, helps with their immune system. Just overall something good every loft should have. Is actually a natural antibiotic, so it'll help keep your birds healthy without using medication if you use this by itself throughout the year. I do use this. I give this to my birds once a week. Really helps. Then after giving the birds any type of medication, I like to give them vitamins and electrolytes. This just helps them boost back up, gives them energy and strength, and it's like drinking a Gatorade for the birds. So this is at the very end after doing anything. If the birds are stressed, they need strength, they're tired, it's always good to give them this. I could go more into depth on how I use most of this stuff if you guys want to know a little bit more about it. Always want to keep something to measure everything out with, so real simple, keep those around. And then this oregano garlic is for my breeders, because my breeders have an automatic water system. So throughout the year I mix this into my breeders feed, and it's just a natural antibiotic. I don't like to medicate my breeders just because when they're breeding, you want your birds to be as, how can I say, as natural as possible without it giving the babies any toxins or anything like that for medication. So this is just like a natural natural health, and I give this to the breeders. And then too, you guys always want to keep a measuring cup. This is a 16-ounce cup. So right now the 17 birds are right under a 16-ounce. So this is good because you get to measure your feed. So you want to start with a full can based on response. Then you either cut back or you give more, and then you keep your own measurements. No one can tell you how to feed your birds. Everyone's birds eat different. So this is a good starter way to measure your feed. All right, so now that I showed you guys a little bit of what I do for health, one of the main things for health is loft hygiene. You want to keep your cages clean. You want to keep your waters clean. Right now the birds do have garlic in their water because I am training these birds, and then they get a little bit stressed at the beginning. Fix this guy. Yeah, they get a little bit stressed at the beginning, so garlic helps with that. The garlic juice. So I'll show you guys how I've been training these guys real quick. It's been about 5 days now, 7 days. About 5, I want to say 5-6 days. There's a few birds that like to go up to the air already. It's about 3 of them, which is a good thing. I like when a bird or two does that, because then they'll be the confident ones to kind of stick around, and they just show the rest to kind of like stay around too. And this is pretty much what you want your birds doing for like the first 5 days. You don't really want to spook your birds. You want them to feel comfortable and stay down low. Get real comfortable with landing on their cage and understanding their surroundings pretty much. So while these guys eat and jump around for a little bit, I'll show you guys my breeders. Here's a little bit of the breeding. Got one baby there. This pair got off their eggs. It was a little bit cold and it snowed. So I think that's probably why they jumped off their eggs. One of the best pairs last year, so I went ahead and left them together. Babies just hatched today. Same thing with this pair, they had laid their eggs, but when it snowed, I think it just probably got way too cold. Got off their eggs. This pair, eggs should be hatching today, maybe tomorrow. This pair just laid their eggs maybe a week or two ago. Should be hatching in another week. Then one of my good buddies, Steve Smith, loaned me this pair. It's a young pair he wanted me to try for him. That way I could get a little bit of reading on these birds and how they're producing. Then he also let me borrow this pair here. Real nice birds. I seen this bird in his #1 kit. This bird did so good in his #1 kit. I asked if I can borrow the bird for breeding. I told him I didn't think it was worth losing. And after asking him a few times, he let me use the bird. Real nice pigeon. So these guys are done eating. They finished off all the feed in the tray. So after they do that and I see they're all inside of the kit box, what I do is I just put the tray in here. And feed them the rest of their feed. Real simple. So when the weather gets better, they'll just be ready to go as far as homed and flying. So I'm just waiting for this cold snap to kind of break, and because I know predators are out here hunting right now for sure. It's been so cold that it's just not time to fly yet. So I'm just kind of just prepping these birds. Then we got some of these two here that flew last year that we're gonna try to get ready. Comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think.